show you my process for choosing dividers, because there are a lot of dividers available in the Prayer Journal and I do not use all of them. Hi, welcome back. So today I am going to be printing off my dividers, and I just kind of wanted to show you my process. I was going to do this anyways, and I just thought I'm going to set up my phone so I can record and show you my process for choosing dividers, because there are a lot of dividers available in the Prayer Journal and I do not use all of them. So what I'm actually going to do is I just have like a piece of paper here, sticky notes. I'm going to go through my last Prayer Journal and pick out what I used and what I liked, and then look at the new dividers and see what I want to print. And then I'm just going to make a list. This might be super self-explanatory, but sometimes people like to kind of see the process. So I thought I would show you. So this is my last Prayer Journal, or my Prayer Journal currently right now. So I honestly did not use all the dividers. I did prayer. I did the weekly divider things that I like put sticky notes on it, and I did who he is. Now the other dividers I do use, I just use them in different binders. So I have a Declare Truth in my other binder. I have Scripture Memory in another binder. So that's kind of the way I do it. I do think this year I am going to probably do the prayer, the gratitude, the Declare Truth. I am going to add some of that stuff back in here. But what I'm really talking about is these topic dividers. So I want to choose these. And the reason why it's a kind of a more difficult choice is because they are different locations. So like you see this is my heart. This is tab location number 1. This one here I have printed off in tab location number 2. This one is location 3, and this is 4. And so I just find it helpful to write down everything I want to do, and then I can number them, and then I can figure out where I want to put stuff. So I know for sure I want my heart. I'm really honestly debating about my husband and children, because I also really love the My Loves tab, and I thought rather than having the separate dividers, I could do My Loves, and then I could, last year, if you guys remember, I made these. So I have my kids, so I could do My Loves, and I could put like my husband first, and then, or even make one for my husband and then have all my kids. So I'm kind of still debating that. So I don't know, it'd just be nice to maybe open up like the My Loves and just like everybody's right there. So I'm going to write My Loves. I am going to write husband here and children. And I think as we talk, I'm going to try to make a decision. Okay, so husband, children, or My Loves. And then we got this battle. The battle is his. I am going to do that one again. And that's actually all I have in this journal. So let's write that down. So battle. And then let's take a look at my computer, and we are going to look at the other dividers that there are. So I am in dividers, and then I'm going to go to topic dividers, and these are all the options. So you can do it however your brain works, honestly. If your brain works where you want a divider for everything, you can absolutely do that. I used to do that. I did find that your prayer journal will get filled pretty quickly, and then what will happen is you have to be very, very intentional and disciplined to go to all the topics. If you were to print off all of these, you would have to really have a good plan, because what I found happened is that I never got to all of them. Like I wouldn't go to church, I wouldn't go to the world, I wouldn't go to my work. I just wouldn't print those. And so I have found that I have to be really intentional about what I want done. Now, the other thing is some of these are in other locations. So for instance, friends, the world, church, salvation, and family are also available in the prayer section. So let me show you. So for this is what the main prayer area looks like. You got this page, and you've got this right here. So I actually don't print off all these when I do this. I do not print these because I personally like to have my husband in his own section. So that's why I will print a husband divider, but I don't really feel like I need a family and friends, like church, the world divider. So I'm actually going to print this page every month. And so I'll put my friends or my family here, friends, do the church, the world, salvation, and that's where I'll put those. And so because of that, I do not need separate dividers for them. I used to have separate dividers from them. And again, I found that I was not going to the family one or the friends one, all that, because there's just so many dividers. So I know for me personally, that's what works for me. You could even use these. So maybe if you're like looking at these and you're like, okay, I want to do some of these, but I don't want all these dividers. Something like home could go right here. So you could write home and then you could write a prayer for home. Work is a good one that I've put here before. So you could put work here. You could put finances here. Like you could also do this so that you don't have so many dividers. So it really is up to you how you want to do it. Now, one I know for sure I do want is I want prayer requests, because the studio, we were asking a lot of prayer requests. What I was finding is I was putting it in my prayer journal, but I was putting it in the monthly section, but then sometimes I'd want to go back and I was flipping through my prayer journal a lot. So what I want is anyone that asks for a prayer request, I want to be able to put it behind here. And that way every week I can go to this and I can continue praying for past prayers too. And I don't have to like flip all over in my prayer journal. So I'm going to do prayer request. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. And I'm just going to go through and kind of share why I'm not using them. Again, me sharing this is not to tell you not to use it. Even as I'm talking, I might say I'm not using one for one reason, and you might be like, oh, that's a reason I want to use it. So I just kind of like to share the process, so maybe it helps you. So my heart, I love doing, because those are just prayers for me. And what I do in my heart is a few things. I also do home stuff. So anything of prayers for my home would also go in my heart for me. Prayers for me being a mother would also go in my heart. Prayers for anxiety or anything that I am facing in terms of that would also go in my heart. So that is why I choose my heart, and it kind of encompasses a lot of those different topics. Okay, so like I said, home, I don't really need, because I am going to do that with my heart. My loves is the one I'm deciding. There's marriage and husband. For me, I've tried both before. And that's the other thing, is don't feel like you can always try too. You can try marriage and husband, and maybe you do it and you love it. You love having those separated and it works really well for you. And that's good. And then maybe you try it and you go, you know what? I don't need both. I'm just going to combine them. So that's kind of the purpose, is like, feel free to try them. That's why they're there for you. So I have done marriage and husband separate before. I just find it easier to just do it under husband. So any kind of prayers for my marriage, for my husband, specifically for him, go here. If it's for me as a wife, then a lot of times that would go under my heart. Okay, and then I obviously don't need future husband. Like I said, family, I'm going to do on those monthly pages. Children, I might do my loves. Motherhood, I would do that again in the my heart section. Friends, I'm not going to do. Work, I just, every time I've tried to use it, I just don't use it that much. And so I think for work, I am going to, a couple things. Either I'm going to put it in the monthly section, or I might just in my heart section do one page at the top, write work, and then just have all my work prayers on that page. So I think I might do that, because that would just be, again, less like flipping through my prayer journal. I like to kind of keep it simple. The world, church, salvation, that is all on that one page, so I don't need that. Finances, if there's anything finance related that I need to pray for, I typically keep that in the monthly section. And again, it could also go in my heart. My heart is really just like anything that has to do with me personally. That's what that section is for me. Again, anxiety would go there. And I always do the battle. And the battle is actually called The Battle Belongs to Him. And if you don't know what this is, for me, this is just something, it can be a few things. It can be something that's really big. So something that's really hard in your life. It can be just struggles in general. So if you have maybe some health struggles, you could do that in there. You could do, if anxiety is one of your big struggles, or, just something that's kind of big and that feels overwhelming and that you'd like to write, like you want it to have its own category, basically. Okay, and then answered prayers, I'm not sure if I'm going to do, I actually have an answered prayer separate journal that I kind of record answered prayers. I typically just, if there's a prayer answered, I just do the little A sticker, and that's how I record it. And a lot of times I'll put a sticky note and I can kind of write out how it was answered, but I typically don't do a separate tab for that. So I don't think I'm going to do that one. And then grandchildren, I don't need. And then prayer request. And I did say I was going to do that one. So those are the ones I'm going to do. Okay, so I am back to my list. I do think I'm going to actually do husband and children separately. And really the only reason why, no intelligent reason, it's just that I really like the husband tab and I think the children tab is cute too. So I'm just going to do both of them. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to kind of keep the order that I have done before. So I'm going to do my heart is going to be number 1. 2 is going to be my husband, 3 will be my children. And then if you notice, there are 4 tabs. So there you got the 4, and then you would basically just start, it would be 1 again. So I think I'm going to leave, no, I'm actually going to do prayer requests first. So I'm going to do prayer requests, and then I'm going to do battle again as a 1. Okay. So that's kind of the order I'm going to do. And what that means is, it'll be like this: my heart, husband, children, prayer requests, and then basically behind that would be a 1 tab, and that one would be the battle. So that is the way I'm going to do it, just to kind of really simplify it. So here's my heart. So basically I've got my little list here, and I'm just going to heart. I did a 1. And so what that means is I am going to come here, and there it says my heart tab 1, and I'm going to print this one because the tab location is 1. And then I'm going to go to my husband, and I'm going to grab the second one. So again, you can see that it's going to be like layered basically. And then I would go to my children one, and I'm going to grab the 3. And then I'm going to do prayer requests as my 4. And then I won't do the last one, but you go to battle is yours, and you do 1. So that's how I'm going to print it, so that they kind of are staggered like that. Okay, so that was super simple. I just kind of wanted to show you and kind of explain my process, and just kind of encourage you. First of all, don't feel like you have to print all of them. I create so many dividers, and as you can see, I am printing 5 dividers. And we have how many? I think I said 7. No, we have like 19 or 20 now. So we have a lot of dividers, and I don't use half of them. So first of all, don't feel like you have to use all the dividers. You do not have to use all of them. Okay. And then second of all, do feel like you can try them, right? It's like, don't feel bad like trying it out. There have been times where I have tried more dividers, and then even halfway through the year, I felt like, you know what, I'm not using this. This isn't working, and I've changed it up. Also feel free, if this is your first time doing a prayer journal, to test out some of the dividers and just see what you like. You can even print off my loves and marriage and children, or children and motherhood, and test out both. And then if halfway through the year you don't like it, or even a month in, you just take out the mother tab, and then you can just combine it, or you know what I mean? Like, just don't feel bad testing stuff out either, to figure out what you like. I think I've had a prayer journal consistently for like 15 years now. And so I kind of know exactly what I want. I know what I'm going to use and not use. And so if this is, especially if you're new to prayer journaling, like, don't feel bad trying different ones and just testing out to see what you like. So anyways, I hope that helped, and let me know if you have any questions.